Okay, so yeah, welcome to this coffee session for Applied Geology Semester 2 2021. Yeah, warm welcome to our new student, Cho Shi Singh, joining us for this semester. So welcome, Singh, for our Applied Geology department. Before I start, can you please explain or introduce yourself? So tell me where are you from, what is your background, and what is the motivation of taking applied geology? That's really we want to hear from you. Okay, over to you, Zhang.
Can I start with a question
Yes,
first?
please.
Am I the only person?
For this semester too, you are the only person, but just keep it in mind because you are in a mid-year intake, because
Yeah.
already there are few students already started at the beginning of the year. So don't worry, in your class you
I
are not be
see.
alone. So you have some classmates, don't worry.
Yeah, I hope so, cause it seems kind of lonely.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
Actually, usually mid-year intake also like this a few numbers, but you will be joining with the other student they already taken in the first semester. So you're not the only person in the classroom. Don't worry.
uh, alright, so to the introduction,
Yeah.
and my name is Trizul Singh as advertised. I am from Ipoh, Malaysia, from West Malaysia. And what makes me want to study this course? Actually, it's since it was since I was young. I've been looking at documentaries of these researchers at Reunion Island
Yeah.
in these small remote places, and I really want to have a job like that, like sedimentary analysis or that sorts of.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. That means that you already have some kind of passionate in geological related works because you already see some document how the
Yep.
geologists are working, what are the responsibilities. That's very good. So there's a very good motivation for you to just drag your futures towards the geological aspects, and that's very good. And can I ask you something? What is your background of schooling? You completed your higher secondary school or any?
My higher secondary, as in secondary school.
Okay, or you did any diploma or anything
Yeah, I
before?
did. It's foundation science.
Oh, in Curtin.
No,
Ah,
it's in Xiamen, it's in KL lah.
okay, okay. So can I know in the foundation what are the subject you learn? Okay.
Maths. Wait a second, it's quite a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Maths, physics, additional
Okay.
mathematics, biology, and chemistry. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
There are others,
Okay, okay. So
biology.
I good to hear that because you're already having some basic science unit. Because later on I will tell you that how the basic science will be helpful for this geology units later on. Because this geology is not a standalone; it is a kind of multidisciplinary subject. You can incorporate your basic science knowledge that you learn in your schools or in your foundation. Okay. So yeah. So maybe what I'm going to do now, Sheng, I'm going to share some screen will explain about the program, the department, the facilities, and some important key points that you need to know before you start your journey as a student in the department. Later on, I will just open the question answer. If anything you want to clarify, we can have an interaction. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Perfect.
so just give me a second. I will share my screen. Just bear with me. My system is getting slow. Hello, doctor, can you hear me?
I can still hear you, but it says you're starting to share content, but nothing has appeared.
Okay, because I know, because in the morning itself having some issue.
Still see you.
Can you see the screen now?
Now it says starting to share content.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
just hang on. It might
Yeah.
come. Yes, now it's come.
Okay,
it's
good,
appearing there.
good. Sorry, because in the morning itself, my system get very slow. I need to check it off. Okay. I just make it a full screen. Yeah, it's really getting slow.
Mm.
Really getting slow. Yep. Can you see the screen, doctor? Full screen?
Yes, yeah, full screen. It's good.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, we can start now. Yeah, so this is the kind of interaction between the staff and the new student. I already mentioned to you. So later on, I will going to explain to you some important key information about the department and the other units that you're going to enroll this semester. Okay, so yes, this is the title of the program that we are offering. Bachelor of Science, Applied Geology, 3 years program. And I put within the bracket petroleum stream. That meaning to say is that our program is oriented to the petroleum stream. Yeah, still we are doing some curriculum review. It can be changed later on, but at the moment our structure is more oriented to petroleum stream. That meaning to say is that at the end of the day, end of your degree, you are get ready to work in the oil and gas industry. So that is the main aim of this curriculum in order to prepare our students for the oil and gas industry. Yeah, so these are some of the qualification of the degree that we are offering. That's very important because once you get the degree, you should know that what is the value of the degree, whether it is fully accredited or well recognized throughout the world. Of course, I'm strongly says that our degree is well accredited. You can see that accredited by Malaysian Qualification Agency. We call it MQA. This is one of the important educational approval by the Ministry of Malaysia. They already given the approval for our degree. And apart from that, our degree is also recognized by the other geological bodies, especially in Curtin, Australia, because as you know that our program is supported by Curtin Bentley. As you can know that there are many geological society. We call it as the Geological Society of Australia, International Association of Hydrologists, Australian Institute of Mining and Meteorology, and Australian Institute of Geoscientists. So that means that so many geological societies already recognized by this degree. Okay, so in overall, I can say that our program is well accredited and well recognized throughout the world. Okay, so just I want to explain, give an introduction to our department staff. As you know that our department is too small, okay, but even though our staffs are well experienced in terms of teaching as well as research with a different backgrounds, okay, you can see the different nationality because international campus, of course, we can find the staff with a different part of the world. I start with myself, okay, I am Prasanna, head of the department. Next to me is Dr. Dominic. She is the program coordinator for this degree. Maybe you can see the picture video of Dr. Dominic. Say some word, Dr. Dominic.
I'd just like to welcome you, and it's good to see that student join because they're really deeply motivated, and it reminded me when I was so young, many years ago, deeply motivated also. So it's nice to have that from the start, that you're really motivated by geology and not doing the course because for some other reason. So welcome. And do contact us if you have any difficulties whatsoever. You know, we're here to help, and we're always available. You just email, and we can, you know, give advice or help out any difficulties. Okay, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. Yes, for information, because Dr. Dominic is the program coordinator, that meaning to say is that next to me, if something is cannot addressed by me, you can contact her, because he also coordinating the degree. And the next one is Professor Nagarajan. Hope you can see his video. Actually, he is a senior staff in the department, and currently he also holding a position in research and development of Curtin, Malaysia. He is a dean of research and development, and is also of a department in terms of supervision and some teaching. And the next is Dr. William Samuel Doni. He also is senior staff in the department. So currently he is in Brunei. And the next is Miss Cynthia. Yes, she is also in terms of experience, he also worked in the department for the last 5 to 6 years. And next is Miss Vivian, associate lecturer, also Miss Cynthia's associate lecturer. And both of them is very important for you, particularly the first year students, because they are taking most of the first year units. So hopefully you're going to see them soon in your class. Okay. And apart from that, there are 2 new staff just joined this semester for information, Dr. Mutasa from Pakistan and Dr. Vijay from India. So currently they are sitting in their own country, but they are delivering the teaching through online. Okay, so these are our department structure. And apart from that, we having the lab technician, Miss Miruli, not in the board, but you should aware that anything related to the lab, because later on when you go to year 2, year 3 project, maybe you need some help in the lab. So she is the focal person for the lab related matters. Okay. Yes. Okay, just start with some definition. Okay, because when I hear from you, you at least know about what is geology, what geology is doing. So this is some kind of a definition, but there are so many definitions, but this one make very comprehensive for me. That's why I put this definition for geology. Basically, geologists study how the earth works, because most of the time geologists are dealing with the earth. Okay, how the earth works in terms of past, present, and future. And of course, they are also connected with the people. We are not like core theoretical persons. Of course, what are the things we learn, we can understand the natural system, we can connect to the society in terms of any natural events. For example, geological hazards like landslide, tsunami, earthquake, because geologists have the better idea about this, all the process, how is happening and what is the thing affected to the people and the environment. So that meaning to say that we are closely connected to the society as well. Okay. And another important thing, we are also responsible for the natural resources, to identify any particular natural resources, for example, oil and gas, minerals and groundwater, because these are the natural resources most of the countries looking for. So geologists play an important role to identify where it present, what's the nature of these resources, and so on. And of course, we are dealing with other science like climate change or environmental protection. So that meaning to say is that geologists have a very wide spectrum. When you study this degree, of course, you get all the knowledge in terms of basic and fundamentals and theory. But when you grow into higher degrees or any job, then you can choose which area you want to grow further. Okay, but this is the overall definition of geologist. Okay, dealing mostly on the earth systems. Okay. And yeah, this one I mentioned you at the beginning. Okay, so geology is an interdisciplinary subject. It's not only core geology, because if you want to understand any concept of geology, of course, we are expecting the students should have some basic science knowledge, like some basic mathematics or physics or chemistry, some biology, very important, and some extent you go to some computer science, like because later on we're going to use some digital platform in order to data analysis, something like that. But I'm stress here that These are the some subject really going to helpful because it's good. I can know that you already learned this subject in your foundation. That's very good for you. But anyhow, when you start the journey in Curtin for this degree, we start with basic science. Even though you studied before, it is kind of a refreshment for you. You can just learn, we can strengthen your basic knowledge of your science. Okay. Okay, so what is the limitation of geoscientists? Okay, where they concentrate. Okay, if you see some literatures or from newspapers or any articles, any media, you can see the geologists are just walking in all the part of the world. You know that if you can say there is no limit, you can start from the sky to the center of the earth. You can see that some geologists can work on the moon or Mars. But if you say geologists, they're mostly concentrating below the earth. You can ask me why? Because you know that most of the geological events or the process is mainly controlled below the earth's surface. And another important thing, most of the natural resources that we are looking for is below the earth's surface. So that meaning to say is that our geologists are more concentrated below the earth's surface in order to identify some process, some resources, and so on. Okay. Okay, so now I just come to the main picture of your degree. Okay, so what you're going to learn for another 3 years. Okay, this is your course structure. Maybe it's not clear to you, but don't worry, later you can find this in the website, and maybe later if you ask me, I can send you the copy. Okay, but I want to show you how our course structure will be arranged. Okay, this is 3 years. Okay, as you see, according to semester. So each semester is minimum 4 units. You can see that start from the semester 1 for you because you start from the July. That means that this course structure is mid-year intake students. We have 2 course structures. One we are following for the normal intake student that is joining by February, and another mid-year intake student we start from July. That's why you can see the title year 1, semester 1, July is for your counting. Okay, so July is your first semester. And if we can progress, you can see that you have 6 semesters in total. Okay, so overall, I can just tell you that how the course structures works for you. Okay, first year basically is a fundamental year for you. So you're going to learn some fundamental geology units. In top of that, you're going to learn some basic science unit like physics, mathematics, some chemistry, and also some other discipline subject like integrating science, something like that. Okay, it will give some kind of a background for you to connect your basic science to some ethics, some kind of a society responsibility, something like that. So that's the first year is looking fundamentals. Okay, when you come to the second year, we call as geology core year. That means that most of the subject that you're going to enter in the second year is all a core subject. That means that you straight away go to the theoretical and practical knowledge of geology subject. For example, your mineralogy, geochemistry, structural geology. Don't worry about the terms because geology is vocabulary very rich and you may not aware that terms, but don't worry, slowly you can learn all the terms and definitions. Okay, so once you successfully complete year 2, then in the year 3, we are focusing our curriculum towards the petroleum stream. That's what I mentioned to you. Our degree is focusing towards a petroleum stream. That meaning to say is that what are the subject, what are the fundamentals you learn from the year 1 to the year 2. Year 3 you're going to apply. That means that all the units are applied to the petroleum related aspects. Okay, as you can see, some of the unit is stands alone like reservoir engineering, formation evaluation, basin analysis. These are the unit is very directly connected to the petroleum stuff. Okay, so at the end of the last semester, you're going to take a one independent not project, we call as a petroleum geology project. So where you can apply your research knowledge. Okay, so you take up some problem and you do some kind of a research activity. You write some report and you can give some presentation that giving as your final year project. We call as a petroleum geology project. Okay, so once you've done that successfully, then at the end of the day, you are a qualified geologist with a degree. Okay. Okay, so maybe I can explain a bit what you're going to learn in all the 3 years. Okay, just give an overview. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry about the terms and definition, but I give you some kind of glance. Okay, what you're going to enter into the different years. Okay, year 1, as I mentioned to you, is a basic foundation year for you to learn some basic geology unit like a fundamental geology 1, fundamental geology 2, with some paleontology unit and with some geoscience unit. In top of that, you can learn the physics, maths, and chemistry. These are the 3 basic science unit that we are offering in the first year. Okay, so first year is totally fundamental. You feel that very light year for you because we just enter into the degree. Maybe you can feel some kind of relax, and maybe you can learn the stuff slowly in order to build your basement in a good manner. Okay. And when you go to year 2, I told you, so you're going to face some core units. So through the core units, you're going to expose to some theoretical and practical knowledge. That's very, very important because geology is a subject. You cannot learn everything within the classroom. That means that you need some kind of exposure to the outside, that what you learn, you're going to apply it. Okay, that means that the year 2, you learn all the theoretical, practical, and also very important, you're going to learn all the field skills. Okay, geologists, most of the time they are in the outdoor, right? Not sitting in front of the computers. Okay, so definitely they are working in a different outdoor activities. So definitely during this year 2, you're going to have a 2 geological mapping unit. So each unit you're going to spend 1 week outdoor activity. Okay, that means the 2 semester, 2 mapping unit. Each mapping unit 1 week you're going to spend in the outdoor activity, right? So where you're going to learn all the stuff that how to handle the natural condition, what are the things you're going to learn in your real condition, not what are the things you study in the textbook, you're going to see in a real condition, okay, real world. Okay, and these are the list I just mentioned to you: mineralogy, geochemistry, sedimentology, structural geology, field geological technique, and so on. Okay, this all the unit we consider as a core unit. Okay. And when you move on to the year 3, okay, so we're going to apply your theoretical knowledge or practical knowledge into some petroleum related subject like a basin analysis, energy resources, some geophysics unit. Maybe later you may be interested in geophysics, and some field mapping unit. You can see that reservoir engineering fundamentals very close to the oil and gas, and formation evaluation already very close to the oil and gas, and basin analysis. Oh, finally, you're going to take up the petroleum geology projects. That's you're going to choose a topic that very close to related to oil and gas, but it's up to you if you're related to any geological disciplinary problems. If you want to tackle, you can go for that. Okay, but we want to put the title as a petroleum geology project. Okay, so this is the whole package of year 1 to year 3. Okay, as you can see, the transition start with the fundamental basic, enter into some theoretical practical knowledge, then you're going to apply that theoretical knowledge or practical knowledge into some applications. Okay, so this is the whole scenario of your curriculum. Okay. Okay, so I already mentioned that geology is very fond of outdoor activity. Okay, not only students, staff as well. Because due to this pandemic of the last 1 year, we are missing this field activity because of some restriction. But usually our geology students are very, very interested on the field activity. I can see some of the picture I put it here. These are some of the activities students do in the field. Okay, they're looking on the rocks and they're looking on some of the process, and the lecturers are explaining what's going on. So it's really fun. Okay, it's kind of fun activity, like you learn the subject, simultaneously you can enjoy the outdoor activity, as well as you can interact more to the lecturers. Okay, that's one of the key points, because sometimes students are shy in the classroom, they are not hesitant to interact, but when they come to the field work, they are very friendly. They can, it's a very good environment. I hope you will have the same feeling later on. Once the pandemic is finished, then we can come to the face-to-face, we can go to the field work, you can get the same experience, I believe. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the facilities that we are having in our department. We have a few labs. Each lab is related to some geological related activities. Like the first one, geophysics lab. But this lab is mostly used by our first year students, particularly your category, because this lab is having all the samples, including rocks, minerals, and fossils, so on. Because you can see the long tables, because the students are freely go around the lab looking for the rocks, minerals, some microscope. So the labs is very occupied by the first year students. When they come to the second year, you're going to enter into mineralogy lab, which you're going to see some rocks in a micro scale under the microscope. You'll see some detail about the rock sections. Okay, and the mineralogy lab, we have the good collection. Of course, we have a lot of varieties of rocks, not only in Malaysia. Throughout the world, we have all the rock types that will helpful for your learning. Okay, and the last one is a sedimentological lab. This you're going to use during your project. If you want to process your sample, cutting the sample, polishing the sample, so this lab going to be helpful. Okay, and definitely when we turn into the face-to-face, you're going to see all this lab. Okay. And these are some of a collection. I already mentioned to you, we have good collections of rocks, minerals, and fossils, okay, throughout the world. And sometimes we are collecting the samples within Malaysia because we are frequently get out for the field work. So we collect the sample during the field work. We have different varieties of samples that we are going to use in our teaching, okay? Okay, this is some simple example. What is the scale of the geology is going to focus? Okay, this is this related to you. Okay, what are the different observations that we're going to make? This is the general for all the geologists. Okay, as you can see, 3 pictures. The first picture in the left side of the top corner, it is a rock that you find in outside. You can see that when you drive, you can see some rocks. Okay, as a geologist, what are we going to do? We're going to collect some samples, you know, because we want to know that what is the nature of the rock, what is the physical property, chemical property. So we can chip the rock, take the piece of rock, and what we're going to do in the second picture, this is the rock cutting machine. So what we're going to do, because in the rock, we cannot see all the features. So we want to slice the rock into very thin layer. Okay, for that, this machine is using to make a thin section. So make it slice and put it in the thin section, and take the thin section and put it under the microscope. Under the microscope, you can see the last picture in the right side. You can see that very colorful texture. So each and every color indicate one minerals. Okay, that means that our observations from the large scale to the micro scale. That's what I try to say. So when you go to the field, you can see everything is a large scale. Okay, but when you come to the lab, everything is very micro. You can see very detailed the features that you find in your rocks or minerals or fossils. Okay, this is a simple example how the geologists are dealing the stuff. Okay, start from the large scale and you can end up with the fine scale observation. Okay, just simple example. Definitely you're going to have the same experience when you enter into some units. Okay, especially for mineralogy and geochemistry. I hope you're going to do the same job. Okay. Okay, so this is something I feel that very important. You must know before you start your degree. Okay, we call the one term called the prerequisite. That meaning to say is that every unit that having some prerequisite unit. Okay, that means that if you want to enroll some unit, you have some prerequisite unit that should be completed before in order to take that unit. Okay, I given the example in the picture. As you can see here, these are the unit. Fundamentals of Geology 1 is offering in first semester, first year, that you're going to take in next semester. Okay, just an example. Okay, this Fundamental Geology 1 is the prerequisite unit for mineralogy and geochemistry in second year. That meaning to say is that in the second year, first semester, if you want to take this unit, you must pass this Fundamental Geology 1. Okay, that's called prerequisite. Okay, same thing. Fundamental Geology 2, this is the unit offered in semester 2, year 1. So if you want to enroll this, all the 3 units like a sedimentology, stratigraphy, field geology technique, structural geology, if you want to enroll this unit in the second year, you must complete this all the first year units. Similar goes to the generally in the first year, you must complete all the unit in order to go to the second year units, because most of the second year unit having the prerequisite. So very important, you must keep this in your mind. Okay, so no need to delay. Okay, so whenever you progress some semester, you need to pass the unit, at least that the minimum expectation from the staff. Okay, at least pass a unit, that's a minimum expectation. But if you score a very good score, that's very good, but at least a minimum requirement to pass the unit without having any hurdles during your journey. Okay, so just please keep it in your mind. This is another example of prerequisite. FGT, that is you can see that field geology technique that you learn in the first semester, second year. So if you pass that unit, you can enroll this geological field mapping of sedimentary basin in year 3. Similarly, mineralogy, geochemistry, if you pass the unit, you can go with igneous petrology and metamorphic petrology. And sedimentology stratigraphy, that is the second year. If you pass the unit, you can go to the basin analysis that offer in year 3. Okay, very simple. Every year is a prerequisite for the next year. So year 2, most of the unit having the prerequisite of year 1, right? So year 3 is the prerequisite of most of the unit in year 2. So simply don't delay any unit, okay? If you cross any semester, pass all the unit and go. So that make your life very easy, okay? So that you can finish your degree within 3 years. Because we have some examples, some students stuck in between because they failed some core unit, they cannot progress to the next unit. So they may delay for 1 semester to graduate. So that's why I want to give in just advance some kind of awareness for you. Just keep move on, okay? Don't fail any unit, okay? Just pass and go, okay? That's my strong advice for you, okay? Okay, so this is same story. This is for year 3, okay? Some unit may be the prerequisite, okay? Okay, how to start the semester? This is usually the new student having some kind of queries, right? So how can I start the semester? These are the points is really helpful to kickstart your semester. Okay, make sure you have the access to Blackboard and Moodle. Okay, I believe that you know what is Blackboard and Moodle because this morning when you attend the faculty orientation week, Dr. Raymond explained to you what is Blackboard and Moodle. Okay, very simply I can explain to you. Blackboard and Moodle are the learning platforms where you can get all your learning resources from these 2 platforms. Okay, Blackboard is mostly to the Curtin Bentley and the Moodle is mostly used by MIDI staff. Okay, these are the 2 important platforms you need to get the access because most of your materials available there. You need to submit your assignment through this platform. You may attend some exams through this platform. So it is very important. You should have the access in the Blackboard Moodle. You just go through this weekend, go and explore it. What are the options, how to do that. So, okay, you can go and explore these 2 platforms. Very important. Okay, next point, check the availability of enrolled unit. Okay, I'm not sure how many units you enroll this semester. Okay, later I will talk to you this one. Okay, but make sure that you need to check your enroll units, whether you enroll all the units that offer in coming semester. Okay, because if you're not enrolled the unit, you cannot get the access in Blackboard and Moodle. You cannot attend any classes. That means you should be officially enrolled. Okay, and the third one, download all the unit outlines. That means that unit outline is the important document that you should have, okay, because that unit outline having all the important details about the unit. Okay, later I will show you some example. Excuse me. And you should be read it carefully, all the unit outline, because that's giving most of the details for you. And please attend all the classes, okay? Even though now we are online teaching, but still I'm strongly advise you to just attend all the classes because that's very, very important in order to keep pace with your units, okay? And apart from that, you can also register for our student club. Okay, our Curtin geology department having student club, we called as a Curtin Geology Club with some AAPG, American Association of Petrogeological Society. Okay, I think our society is very active. So later I will show you. You can join the society so that you can make friends. You can involve with the activity. That's also a very important part of your university life. Okay. Okay, so this is an example of unit outline, as I mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, unit outline is the important document I told you. So this is an example of one of the unit that I'm handling called structural geology. This is the first page of the document. You can see that they say what is the code of the unit and what mode of study, what's the tuition pattern. You know that what's a tuition pattern? That means how many lectures you have weekly, how many online classes, how many labs, how many tutorials. So it's everything explained here. Okay, and you can also see here the last line. Prerequisite unit. You can see that geology 102. That means that if you want to take the structural geology unit, you must pass the geology 102 in the first year. Okay, so that's why I want to emphasize you. Okay, and in the document you can also see this one. Maybe you're not well known at the moment because we called as a unit learning outcomes. Because every unit, we are proposing some learning outcomes. That means that at the end of the semester, you need to achieve the outcomes that I propose here. You can see that I propose 5 objectives. Okay, so each and every objective going to be assessed by one of the assessment that going to handle in a semester. Okay, so at the end of the semester, if you pass the unit, that meaning to say is that you achieve all these learning outcomes. Okay, and these learning outcomes going to be addressed by graduate capabilities. That means that in Curtin, Malaysia as a whole, we have 6 graduate capability in the different aspects. For example, see in the bottom, I put 6. Maybe you have the discipline knowledge, you have some creativity knowledge, you have a digital competency, you have some cultural knowledge, you have some teamwork, and so on. Okay, so each and every objective, it should be addressed by graduate capabilities. Okay, that's why you can see here the first objective has been addressed by these 2 graduate capabilities. That means you need to have a discipline knowledge and you have the innovative knowledge. Okay, similar like that. Okay. Okay, so this is also important thing, assessment schedule. So in each unit, what are the assessment patterns? Okay, so this is an example of one of my unit I show you, right? Structural geology. You can see the 3 assessments. Team assignment, which is carrying 20% out of 100. And you can see that what is the unit learning outcome you're going to assess. So in the first assessment, unit outcome 1, 2, 3, 5 going to be assessed for you. Okay, and same like the practical example, also practical exam, that carrying 40% for you, that will address 1, 3, 4, 5 learning outcomes. Okay, and lastly the theory exam, that carrying 40%. Okay, out of 100, it will address 1 and 2 of unit learning outcomes. If you total everything, it come around 100. Okay, you can see that 20% for team assignment, 40 for practical, and 40 for the theory. Okay, so this is the way, but this is not standard. Okay, every different way of assessment, like some may be an online quiz, or some may be a team project, or some may be a presentation. Okay, it's up to the nature of the unit. Okay, but you should be read carefully what are the assessment, what are the recruitments, and what are the things you need to. And another important thing is a deadline. You can see that you already know the deadline for each and every assessment. You can see the first assignment, you already know the deadline of week 11. Second assignment, week 6 or week 14. And theory exam is a exam week. So you already know the deadline. Maybe you can take note of the diary at the beginning of the semester. Okay. And these are some of the criteria given in your document, like passing the requirement. In order to pass the unit, what is the criteria? Okay. In this unit, you must satisfy, complete all the assessment. That's all the 3 assessment to pass the unit. And also you must score minimum grade of 50%. Okay, if you score 50%, that is a minimum grade or percentage in order to pass the unit. Okay, same like that, each and every unit outline, you can read that what is the passing requirement. Okay, and the laser assessment policy, so you can read it, you can understand that. Okay, and this is the program calendar, so you may not miss that. Okay, this is the one that given the end of your document. Okay, we call a program calendar. So that meaning to say is that at the beginning of the semester, you can know that how is your activity going on. So which day you are the lecture, which day the tutorial, which lab you have the assessment, and so on. You can see that this simple example. Week 1, you have this lecture, which are practical, and the week 2, you have this lecture and practical. You can see that the assessment going to be set on week 2. Okay, and similarly week 3, week 4. So every week you know what's going on. Okay, what is your lecture, what's your lab, tutorial, is there any assessment due you need to submit? So everything given in the program calendar. Okay, so overall I say that the unit outline is an important document for you to read from top to bottom, that giving all the answers for the unit. Okay. Okay, so this is some of the thing I want to emphasize at the beginning, because this is the one we're going to assess the student at the end of the semester based upon your performance. Okay, there are 3 categories you're going to park. Okay, one is the good standing. For example, if you pass all the unit without having any issues, that means that you are good standing. Okay, so in top of that, if you score, that means the semester weighted average, if you score 75 and above, you will get the commendation list. This is kind of appreciation for you. Okay. And if you get the top scorer in the unit, you get the dean list. Okay. This is very important in your academic career. If you get more letters and more this kind of appreciation, that will give you a more weightage for your CV at the end of the day. Okay. And the second category is a conditional. What is conditional? If the students fail 50% of the unit they enroll and the semester weighted average is less than 50, or the student failed the core unit more than once, we consider as a conditional. Okay. So yeah, conditioning is a kind of alarming for you. Okay, you need to wake up. Okay, if something goes wrong in the semester, you need to be alert, put some more effort in your learning, then you need to come back to the good standing. Okay, and the last category, everyone don't like it. Okay, even the staffs, we don't like this termination. So that is the end of your story. Okay, so that is really we don't want from the students. Okay, so when you get terminated, so fail core unit twice, fail more than 50%, and your semester weightage is less than 50, 2 consecutive conditional status is completely washed out in your semester, that you put the end of the story for you, like a termination. Okay, but really we don't want that from the students. Okay, so our expectation, you always stand on the green light. Okay, don't go to the yellow or red. Okay, we don't want the danger light. Okay, we always want the go green light. Okay. Okay, this is some of the key factors that affect the students' learning. Okay, this is based upon our experience, because we saw many students progression. We saw that these are the 3 main criteria why the students are failed in the journey. Okay, the first thing is a late submission. Okay, because some students, they don't bother about the deadline, they work in the last minute, they can miss the deadline, so they put in the submission after the deadline. There is no use, because if you submit after the deadline, even though your work is good, but some penalty will be given for your work. For example, you score 100 or 100, because of the late submission, you get only 50, for example, or 20 or 10. So no point of giving late submission. Okay, so don't go for it. That's what I said. Today itself, take a diary, put all your deadlines. Okay, work on the deadlines. Another one is a poor time management. So you need to work in a diary. I told you, right? So very good practice. Keep a diary, put all the deadlines, put all your activities that make you go according to the time. Okay. Last one is a plagiarism. Okay. Hope you may not aware, because this is very important in the student in the university life. Okay, because until schooling or foundation, you may not aware this plagiarism. Plagiarism means in your assignment or in your work, if you do something like a cut and paste, you take some statement from the other literature or other books or anything, you put it in your work without paraphrasing, without understanding, like a cut and paste. Okay, that we call as a plagiarism. So this is one of the important academic integrity, right? So we don't want to go, the student will not follow this the criteria plagiarism, because plagiarism is one of the offense of academic career. Okay, not only student, as a staff as well. So we are very strict on the plagiarism. Okay, I'm sure that in your first year you may attend some workshop related to the plagiarism conducted by the university, where you can get more knowledge about the plagiarism. But if you have any doubt on this plagiarism, you can contact any staff in the department. They can help you before you start any work, or you have any discussion about the plagiarism. Staffs are very welcome to help you. Okay, but keep it in mind, this is very important criteria that you need to follow. Okay, and yes, feedback. Okay, this is not like a one way of doing the lecturing. Okay, because we always want to hear from the student as well. So how the unit went, is there any positive or negative, is there anything we want to improve in order to make a better learning for you? So for that, we are using some platform. So first one is that we have the committee called Student Staff Consultation Committee. So where I am the chair of the committee and also the program coordinator, with some student representative from year 1, year 2, year 3. So how it's going to work? Every semester it will run 2 times. Okay, So the student representative will collect all the feedbacks from the classmates. Then the representative will present during the meeting. So we taken up all the comments and feedback, address it. If it is really a burning issue that you came across the semester, then we can find a way to close the loop, solve the problem. So that is the main objective of this committee. Okay. Apart from that, at the end of the semester, you're going to give a feedback through online. We call it evaluate. Okay. So through the online, you're going to comment based on the unit content as well as the quality of the teaching. Okay. So during that time also, we collect the feedback. Okay. Then in the next semester, next year, we're going to implement. Is there any comments really valuable that need to be addressed? The concerned lecturer will take an action for that. Okay. So that means that we always hear the feedback from the students through this platform, either this committee or through the evaluate. Okay. Okay, so this is some kind of thinking of in your future directions. In terms of geology, I can say that there is a big scope, okay, wide range of job opportunity, okay. Even though our program is oriented to petroleum geology, but I'm saying that in the first 2 years, you learn all the basic geology subjects. That means that you can switch to any discipline. It's not only oil and gas. For example, if you're interested in mining, you can go to mining. If you're interested on hydrogeology, you can go for that. Or any environmental works, you can go for any geotechnical. Okay. So that means that you have wide options. Okay. Of course, you're going to learn all the theoretical, practical knowledge of the subject. Later on, when you come to the year 3, you can choose your career. Okay. Where I want to go, whether I want to end up in oil and gas, or I want to go any mining activity or mineral exploration or environmental aspects, groundwater exploration, so on. Okay. So generally we have wide scope. Okay. I give an example. Our alumni, those who are graduated, you may wonder that they are not all in oil and gas. They are in different fields. Okay. Okay. This is an example I told you. Okay. These are our alumni. Okay. You can see that some may be in oil and gas. Some may be working the geotechnical, some may work in the environmental aspects, some even working in the computing, like a GIS, like a geographical information system, where they're developing some software related to the geological discipline. Okay. So there are big scope. Okay. So because this one, last year also, there are some students already got position in oil and gas, and some students in mining, and some students in geotechnical. I have the record, but I give an idea that we have a wide scope of job opportunities. Okay. Okay, so this is really we want from you, okay, because you just start your journey. We are hoping that at end of year 3, I want pick your name. I put it in this chart. Okay, I want to show that, okay, this is the student graduated this year, working in this oil and gas or any particular sectors. Okay, this really we want see the student that working in a different companies or different sectors. Okay, that's really want from you. Okay, I hope we can do that. Okay, so this is some of the additional information if you want to explore more, like a Curtin Geology Club, or if you want to know about the student chapter for AAPG, we have the page in the Facebook, okay, and you can have the blog like this, okay, so definitely you can have a good opportunity to interact with your seniors, and you can take part of all the activity, even though we are in offline, but still the clubs are very active doing some online activities. I strongly encourage just go and join so that you can explore more, not only in the books, in outdoor activities or any interactions, any teamwork. Okay, that's really helpful for your career. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the club activities. I told you sometimes they go for outing, they do some kind of geological field work, we are randomly do some seminars and workshops, some exhibitions, and so on. Okay, so as I mentioned, even though we are off on the face-to-face, but still we are making some activity wherever possible, okay, through online. Okay, so this is the question usually arise before the student choose applied geology in Malaysia. So why I want to choose? Maybe you have the same question before you choose applied geology. So these are our points. Okay, these are our strong points that says that why applied geology in Curtin, Malaysia is a good choice. Okay, I can say that this is the only international program of applied geology oriented to petroleum stream. Of course, in Malaysia, other university having the geology, but we are recognized as an international program. As you know that our curriculum is developed from Curtin Bentley. Even though you study in Curtin, Malaysia, but at the end of the day, you get the degree of Curtin, Australia. So that sounds good, you know. And the second point is our location is East Malaysia, as you know that, but you are in West Malaysia. But if you come to East Malaysia, you know that the East Malaysia, where I'm sitting, where the university is placing, is surrounded by oil and gas, like a Shell, Petronas. That means that we have very close contact with the oil and gas industry. There are some opportunity to go and visit their lab and do some kind of interaction, some kind of seminar and workshop, that giving a very close relationship with the industry. That's very important when you come to year 3. During your project, if you need any help from the industry, that making a link for you. So overall, it is a good choice that you chosen the applied geology in Curtin, Malaysia. And of course, we are doing the experiential and applied knowledge or learning. As I mentioned to you, geology is not everything. It's a learning in the 4 walls. Okay, we are exploring all the possible way of outdoor activities. That's really giving more knowledge for you to equip to work in the industry. And we have a bachelor degree, prepare the student to develop the advanced knowledge and skills for professional work. For example, if you continue your degree, for example, you go with a master or PhD, definitely they will give you a basement for you. Okay, or you can further do some kind of research-based works. That's really helpful for you. And as I mentioned some few slides before, is a wide job opportunity in oil and gas, mining, environmental consultancy, geotechnical, GIS, and so on. Okay, and of course we have a very good soft success rate. Okay, we have the record of alumni. We are really happy to say that we have around 80 to 85%. We have the job success rate, and this is going to be improved more. Okay. Okay, so I think I come to the end. Okay, so if you need more details, please go to our website. Okay, under the website, you can find the applied geology under the applied sciences, because our program is parked under the applied science. Okay, when you click the applied science, you can go to the applied geology, where you can find all the information that I explained before. Okay, you can explore more. Okay. So yes, these are the things I want to explain to you, but this is not limited for you. That's given a glance for you, but definitely you're going to experience it when you progress. Okay. Okay, so I stop scanning and I just go to the main page. Yes. Yes, Joy says, Singh, if you have any questions, we are happy to answer you. Okay, if any doubt, any question, definitely at the first day, you may not get everything at your head, but if anything burning question, if you want to ask, we are happy to answer you. Over to you, Singh, if you have any questions for you.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for your in-depth introduction. Appreciate it. And yes, I do have one burning question.
Yeah.
I noticed that there is, what was it called, team coursework. How would that apply for me?
Come again, Singh. I'm not clear yet.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. One question I have is that there's group projects, right?
Okay. So yes, yeah. Yes, I can understand the situation, because it is totally different than face to face. Okay, because everyone is now online, sitting at different places. But what we are doing, because as you can see, most of the unit, I told you the unit learning outcomes, most of the unit, there is one outcome we want from the students at teamwork. So we want to emphasize the teamwork, even though we are online. But we do this very carefully, especially this pandemic online learning. Even though we want to assign some group work or team project, we see the feasibility. Okay, we want to know the background of students, where they are sitting, what is the facility they having, what are the stuff they can do. So based upon that, we can decide, okay, this student can able to do this one. So based upon that, we can allocate the job responsibility for the teamwork.
Oh,
Is that an answer to you?
Yeah. But one other thing. As I'm sure we all have noticed, it's only me, and would I be at a disadvantage when it comes to group work because there's not really someone else to group with? I'm
No,
afraid
no,
I'll be in a disadvantage.
it's not like that because the number of person in the group is not really the matters. Okay, in my experience, okay, is a way how you are carry out the work, whether you're doing individual or group work, but how you put the effort. For example, in a group of 3 or 5 or 7 doesn't matter, but how you handle your project, that's really important. Okay, so that's what I mentioned to you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't really have anything to ask. Thanks again.
Okay. So don't worry, Seng. Then I will pass the floor to Dr. Dominic. Maybe she can give more some add-on for my points. Dr. Dominic, do you have anything to say?
Just could you remind me which units will he be taking?
Yes, I forgot to ask you. What are the unit you enrolled, Seng?
Wait a second, I need to refer.
Yes, please.
For my first semester, first year.
Yeah. Because we are offering some, I think if I'm mistaken, some 4 units. I don't know what are the unit you enrolled.
Oh yeah, so the units I'm taking are Introduction to Chemistry,
Okay.
ENG Sustainable Development,
Okay. Okay.
Evolving Earth, Seas and Planet.
Sorry, come again. Third one, Zeng, what is that? Third one?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. The spelling's a bit weird. Evolving Earth, Seas and Planet.
Oh, yeah. Evolving Earth System and Paleontology. This is the geology unit. Okay. We simply call EESP.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So the fourth one is Planetary Science.
Oh, planetary science. Okay, good.
Fifth one, last one, it's Introduction to Petroleum Engineering.
Yes,
that's about it.
Okay, good. Okay, I tell you that what's the nature of this unit, because I told you that the chemistry is one of the basic science unit. I told you, right? So you're going to maybe you can refresh what you learned in your foundation or schooling. So that's a kind of basic chemistry, and that is the introduction to chemistry. Okay, and this ESD, that is the environmental sustainable development. So this is not a geology unit. This is like a unit taken by all the engineering students. This is like related to some kind of society responsibility, something related to that. Okay, I think this unit you can find more student in your class because this unit is taken by other disciplinary students as well. Okay. And the third one is evolving a system paleontology. This is the geology unit. Okay, so this unit you're going to see some kind of a geological process in our past historical time, and you can know about some fossils and how it's evolved, some histories or something like that. Okay, and the planetary science, we just introduced this unit in 2020. I think this is also a basic unit of geology, which touch some basic some fundamentals of geological process, planetary system, and so on. Okay, and lastly, introduction to petroleum engineering. Of course, this is related to petroleum engineering department unit, but this is introduction, so you no need to worry about that. It's not a very core petroleum unit. This is like a fundamental, giving some kind of a clue or some kind of knowledge on the petroleum related aspects. Okay, as you can see here, the number of units is 5. Okay, don't worry, it is a very high workload, but the unit environmental sustainable development and the introduction to petroleum engineering is a 12.5 credit. Each is a 12.5 credit. So even though you have 5 unit, but total is 100 credit.
Oh.
Okay.
And Seng can already meet Cynthia for teaching Introduction to Chemistry.
Yes.
She's here today. And Vivian also for Evolving Earth.
Yes.
And Dr. Murtaza for Planetary Science.
Yep.
So if you want to put your cameras on stuff, then the student can see you.
Yeah.
And you will meet in lecture next weach.
Yes. Here the Cynthia.
Cynthia is already in twilight zone.
Curtin lakeside.
Curtin lakeside, very nice sunset.
Yep.
So
And
Ziseng, see you next week. I think our class will be on Monday.
Monday.
6 p.m. next week. Yeah.
Alright.
Chemistry.
Zeng, did you download all your timetables from your website?
No.
Please do that, because sometime your class will start on Monday, like a kickstart. Okay, better in the weekend you can settle down, you put down all your timetables, get ready for Monday. Okay.
Yeah, go have a look at the Moodle page for each of the units.
Alright.
Maybe there's some announcement like welcome and things like that.
Yeah.
What's happening this week, and you know, maybe some basic bits of information.
Yeah, and the first thing I told you, right? Because if you go to the Moodle, the first document you can find is a unit outline. I told you that is an important document. Please read it from top to bottom. That will give entire information about the unit. So what are the assessment, and whether you have, what is the tuition pattern, and so on. So please read the unit outline. If you couldn't find a unit outline, please contact the lecturer straight away. They can provide you the document. Okay, so that's a very important document for you to start. Okay. And the next one is, yes, Dr. Mutasa is already in the video. Hi, Dr. Mutasa. Can't hear you, Dr. Mutasa. Can't hear you. It's okay, it's okay. Zeng, he is Dr. Mutasa. Okay, so he's the one responsible for planetary science. Okay, hope you remember his face. Okay, during the class next week. And lastly, Miss Vivian is the lecturer for evolving Earth system and paleontology. I hope Vivian is busy, or maybe Vivian?
No. I'm actually having internet connection since the morning, so I try to keep it as stable as possible. So
okay, that's fine.
Just saying, I will meet you next week. Do not be worried. You have your classmate. I have around 5 to 6 students taking EESP unit with you, so you won't be that lonely. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And same also for planetary science as well. I think so, because there are some students from first semester.
Yes.
They are taking the unit, so you won't be lonely. Okay, do not be worried about that. All right. And probably in the next 3 more weeks to come, we have a new student joining us. We never know, because this intake is still ongoing. So
Well,
should not be
hopefully.
worried. Okay, you won't be alone throughout this semester.
Okay, good. Thanks, Vivian. Thank you. Yes, Zeng, maybe you can see the video of another new staff. Dr. Vijay is already there in the screen. Hopefully, you can meet him in the next semester, not next semester, semester 2 for you, for the fundamental geology 2, and maybe some unit in second year. Okay, so you're going to meet me in second year, and for Dr. Dominic also in second year. And yes, and for one more is Dr. Bill. We call it a Bill, is William Donny. You can meet him also in year 2. Okay, so we are very small department, Zeng. Don't worry. If you have any doubt, you can straight away contact any staff, not only for me. Okay, so you can just write an email to them. So they are very friendly. They can help you anywhere you're stuck. Okay.
One thing to mention, if you need our email address, you can find it on the website.
Yeah, you type our name, it will pop up.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
And the unit coordinator for your units, it will be in the unit outline. So from the Moodle, you can find it.
Zeng, can I ask you, did you train for accessing the Moodle and Blackboard in the morning? Do you have any idea how to do that?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
It's on right now as you speak.
Okay.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Because that's very important for you to start, because as I mentioned, right, all your resources, all your assessments, everything going to be used under these two platforms. You are lecturing also through these platforms, okay?
All right.
Okay, good. But anyhow, this is not a stop point, okay? Anywhere we feel difficulty or anything you want additional support or anything, so please send the email. Don't hesitate, okay? Because as a beginner, maybe you need more support, okay? We are helpful. Okay, so good. So yes, if nothing else, yes, Zeng, all the very best. Okay, so Monday maybe your class starts. Okay, all the very best for your journey, and we are also walk along with your journey. Okay, so we are just with you. Don't worry. Okay, we just want to help you in order to go along with your pathway. Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Okay, good.
I
Yeah.
forgot to
Yes.
say something.
Yes, Vivian.
Can you please always check your email, because I think we already started to send out emails, so it will go to your student mail. Some of the stuff we might not share it in the Blackboard, so we just want to communicate with the MIRI students. So you might want to check your email all the time. Okay. All right. See you on Monday.
Okay, so thank you, Zeng. All the very best. Okay, keep safe and take care. And thanks for all the staff to attend the session. And all the very best for you all for your teaching. Start by next as next week. Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Yes. Thanks for the
Thank you.
compliment.
Yeah,
Thank-
thank you.
thank-
Bye bye.
Bye.